Good morning. Today we are correcting CO49, creating that function table. So we're looking at what we're putting in for the X, and the output, what we get out of it, will be what it equals, the Y. So we did some of these together on the lesson yesterday. I had to put it on loose leaf because my smartboard was acting up, but it was the problems from this page. Some of you, I noticed, were writing it over to the left on the blank paper. I was actually doing the problems right from the page. I just couldn't show you that because my smartboard was being silly. So I had to use my document camera. But this one we did together. If we put in 1, 2, 3, 4, we got out 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we can look at that as XY coordinates. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, and 4, 5. Were those the only numbers that we could put in? No. Remember I said you can put in whatever input you wanted, but you had to get an output that is correct. So these are my examples. When I am done, we can go through and see if there is any questions. If you did, I know a couple of us asked if we could use bigger numbers, and I said yes. What are we looking for? Other room. Okay, for the second one, I put in a 1, got out a 2. I put in a 2, got out a 4. Put in a 3, got out a 6. Put in a 4, got out an 8. And then for the last one in this row, I put in a 1, and I got out a -5. I put in a 2, I got out a -2. I put in a 3, I got out a 1. I put in a 4, and I got out a 4. Are there any in that top row that you want me to check because you use different numbers and you want to check that your input matches your output? So is there any that we want to check on? All right, then let's look at our middle row. For this one, I put in a 1 and got a -9. I put in a 2, I got a -8. I put in a 3, I got a -7. I put in a 4, I got a -6. You did not have to put in the same numbers I put in. Okay. But you have to make sure that your output matches with your input. For this one, I did together with us to show us those smart ones that we could do when we have fractions. When we're dividing, you want to do the multiples of that bottom number. So if I put in a 2, I got a 1. I put in a 4, I got out a 2. I put in a 6, I got out a 3. I put in an 8, I got out a 4. And for this one, some of us, I was saying, hey, if we're multiplying by a negative number, you might want to have your input be a negative number. So you're working with positive numbers then. You didn't have to. I didn't, but you could have. I put in a 1 and got a -4. I put in a 2, I got a -9. I put in a 3 and got -14. I put in a 4 and got -19. Did you use different numbers that you want to check to see if your input and outputs are correct? Any questions on this row? All right, on the bottom, I put in a 3, I got out a 1. I put in a 6 and got out a 2. I put in a 9 and got out a 3. Put in a 12 and got out a 4. Over here, I noticed when I was looking at people's, we forgot that there's a 3 on top. Here there was just timesing by 1. Here we were timesing by 1. But on this one, when we did our dividing, then we had to times it by the 3. So I put in a 4 and got out a 3. I put in an 8 and got out a 6. I put in a 12, got out a 9. I put in a 16 and got out a 12. Any questions on that one if you've got different outputs than I got? Okay. Last one. You had to do the same thing that we were doing over here, and then you had to add a 2 to it. So I put in a 5, I got out a 3. I put in a 10, got out a 4. Put in a 15 and got out a 5. Put in a 20 and got out a 6. Any questions on those ones? So is there any one that you want to check to make sure you did correctly? This is our second to last objective. So we need to know that we are doing this correctly because it's almost time for the test. Liam? Practice test I have scheduled for Friday, real test Monday. Because we're a little behind. I'm thinking that's how we're going to work it. So practice test Friday, because we have our last objective today. Tomorrow we'll correct it and review. So we can do practice test Friday, real test Monday. Okay. All right. If you're watching this at home, we hope you're well. Hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.